Yes, it's possible to spend tens of thousands of dollars on equipment and still end up with shitty sounding music. Here's how to avoid it. In this video, I'll show you exactly where you should put your time, energy, and money to get the most out of your musical project. We all know that music can be a very expensive hobby. The thing is, when you're an up-and-coming band, you have very limited resources. That means that every penny should be counted for, and you should be very careful on where you invest time, energy, and especially money. Even though people playing in up-and-coming bands would like to make music a living, many of them still are playing as a hobby, and because of that, they have a lot of disposable income that usually goes towards equipment. So they buy the fanciest drum set, fanciest guitars, and for those who are getting interested into mixing, they buy a lot of plugins and outboard equipment. This is a common phenomenon known in the music community as the GAS, Gear Acquisition Syndrome. And believe it or not, this will lead you nowhere. Buying every piece of gear under the sun or every plugin won't help you write better music, which basically is the most important thing that you should be thinking about if you want to get your band to the next level. Although it may make you feel better at the moment, buying every plugin, guitar, or snare drum won't help you make better music and write better songs. Ultimately, as an aspiring artist, what will help you most can't be bought. It's experience and knowledge. And the best way to gain that is not by buying stuff, but by spending time studying your favorite bands. The good news is all this stuff is already out there, available to the public. The only thing that you need to do is spend time studying it and paying attention to how it was written. So today my goal is to explain where you should prioritize putting your time, energy, and attention to maximize your results in getting the best song possible for you or your band. One very important thing to mention is that in this whole chain, we have to pay attention to every element. Obviously, there should be no weak link inside this whole chain. But if you have to choose between putting all the emphasis on the mastering while you have a shitty song, this will never pay off. So you have to prioritize from song to mastering, and the importance goes down as we go every step of the way. In the whole chain, the most important part is always going to remain the song, meaning music, lyrics, and arrangements. And it is also where the help of a producer can drastically change the result of what you're going to work on. The pre-production is the phase that you'll be working on all those details, and it's really where most of the time should be spent, because after that phase is done, you will basically just be polishing this first shape that you've made. Here, the use of a producer can make drastic changes, and the reason why is that the producer is not emotionally attached to the material and can make very big moves that will change the whole landscape of the song, meaning changing dynamics on drums, trying to have a guitar player play different riffs. Since he's not in the band, the producer comes from a neutral standpoint. That's why he can give perspective over the songs as a whole rather than the sum of its parts. And it can really help guide individuals, meaning band members, to play what's right for the song. Because usually as musicians we have this tunnel vision on the parts and really on what we should execute rather than what really will complement the song as a whole. The second most important thing after the song is the musician. Unless you're programming everything, you're going to need people to surround yourself with, and each musician comes with a different skill set. Also, that can be bought. So it's the experience they have, how much time they put into practice, their taste, their ideas, and this will really bring a different flavor to your project. The third element in the whole chain, where people usually waste 90% of their money where they probably shouldn't, is the instrument itself. A lot of great records out there were made on pretty crappy instruments, so this part will definitely not make or break your album. But if you can, it's always better to have good quality instruments. If you're a guitar player, for example, the choice of wood for your instrument, the choice of pickups, the choice of gauge for your strings, where your strings new for the recording, so all these little things are going to add up to change a guitar sound. But it's important to always keep in mind that the guitar sound is just a small part of the whole picture. The fourth element in the chain is going to be the element that captures the sound. If you're a guitar player, it's going to be the pickup itself. If you're a vocalist, it's going to be the microphone. Nowadays, even pretty cheap microphones can really give you good sound. So this still in the whole chain will not make or break, but you don't need a $4,000 microphone to be able to capture good sounding vocals. A lot about the microphone has to do with how you use it, not only what the microphone is. For example, if you're distorting the input of your interface because the signal's too loud, that's going to be a huge problem. Are you consistent in your distance with the microphone? Do you have sound treatment in the studio so you don't catch all this room reverb? So we're still going lower and lower in terms of what really matters ultimately for the final result of your song. And this is the choice of preamp and converter. So from your microphone to the computer, signal is going to have to go from analog to digital, and this will definitely color the sound of your microphone. But again, this will never make or break a good song. Then obviously once all the material is recorded, it's going to be the editing part. It's going to be after recording, before mixing. And sometimes people over edit and they can really take the life out of performances. So we have to be careful while we're editing to still preserve some life, some human feel to performances. So the seventh element in the whole chain is going to be the mix. It's very important to be on the same page with the mixer, meaning that before you give him all your source material, he has to know where you're trying to go with your songs, with your material. Also, do not expect miracles if you overlook some of the steps. For example, in recording and editing, you can't expect having killer sounding mixes if you haven't given really good sounding material for him to work with, basically. So that's very important to not leave any weak link in the whole chain. The last element in the chain is mastering. It's there only to give a final polish to your song, give it to commercial level loudness, and also make sure that the mixes translate to any type of device that's going to play back your music. So to sum things up, the closer you get to the origin, meaning the song itself, the more resources you should deploy and the more time you should spend there. So do not spend all your money on gear, and spend time studying and maybe getting professional advice from a producer to really get good result at the source. Let me know in the comments below which part of the process you usually put most of your focus. Thank you for watching the video. Please click like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. See you soon.